Hi, I'm Sean Carruthers, and welcome to How Do I on Butterscotch.com. This series we're taking a look at the HTC HD7 running Windows Phone 7. In this episode we're going to talk about the camera on the HD7. Now, unlike a lot of other new phones these days, the HD7 only has a single camera. It's a 5 megapixel camera and it's located on the back. So it'll shoot 5 megapixel still images and it'll shoot video up to 720p. To get into the camera app, you can hit the Windows Home button, then click on the arrow pointing to the right, and then scroll down until you get to camera and tap on it there. But a much easier way to get into the camera app, even if the phone is in sleep mode at the time, is to go over to the side of the phone on the right hand side and press on the shutter button that's located at the bottom of the phone and hold it down. Now when you fire up the camera for the first time, it'll actually ask you if it's okay to use the GPS to get information about where you are when you're taking pictures. Now if you're concerned about your privacy and you don't want people tracking where you are at any given time, you might want to say no to this. But if you're not really concerned about that at all and you just want to be able to track where you're taking your pictures yourself at a later time, then you can click allow and it'll automatically put the GPS information in your photographs as you take them. Once you've made this choice, the camera will turn on and you'll actually see what's going on through the lens on the back of the phone. So for easy use of the camera, you'll probably want to reorient your phone so that the camera is in landscape mode and that the shutter button is at the top underneath your finger. Now when you're ready to take a picture, you just point at what you want to shoot and click the button on the side of your phone. You can use the plus or minus buttons along the side of the screen to zoom in or out using digital zoom. Now it's worth noting, of course, that digital zoom just uses the information that's there and pushes in and blows it up, so it doesn't actually give you the best quality image. So you probably want to avoid doing this if at all possible and just walk in closer to the image you want to take. Now you can switch between still photography and video mode by clicking on the little switch on the screen. It'll switch you into video camera mode. Now by default it'll put you into 640 by 480 resolution or VGA resolution. If you want to use higher definition like 720p, which the camera is capable of, then you want to go into settings, and we'll show you how to do that later on in this episode. So when you're ready to start recording video, just press the shutter button at the top and a big counter will appear in the lower corner of your screen. Keep recording until you're done and then press the shutter button again and it'll stop. Now you notice that what you're shooting doesn't take up the entirety of the screen. There's actually something over to the left. So when you take a photograph or a video, it'll start to appear over to the left as a little phantom icon over to the side. Now what you can do to get access to them is at any point while you're in live mode, you can just swipe your finger across the screen and it'll take you over to the items that you previously shot. You can keep swiping sideways until you get to the item in your library that you want, and when you're done you want to go back to shooting again, just swipe back to the regular live view. Now you can adjust your camera settings by clicking on the little gear icon in the lower corner. If you're in still photo mode, you'll have the ability to adjust how the flash works by clicking on the on, off, and auto icons. You can change the scene mode for shooting under different types of conditions like sports or night. You can change the effects if you want a special effect on your image like black and white or sepia. You can change your image resolution if you want to shoot smaller pics, so you don't want 5 megapixel, you want something a little bit more manageable. You can change the metering mode to determine how the camera focuses. You can click on flicker adjustment if you want to compensate for other screens or lights that may be in the shot and causing problems with the picture. Now if you're in video mode and you go into settings, you'll be able to determine whether you shoot with flash on or off, whether there'll be any special effects on the image. If you want to adjust your resolution to 720p mode, you can do that here under resolution. You can choose how the camera determines the focus point, whether it's compensating for flicker, and whether it uses autofocus during shooting. Now once you have a bunch of photos and videos you want to transfer over to your computer, you can do so by taking out the USB cable that came with your phone, connecting it to the phone and your computer, and then firing up the Zune software that you can download from Zune.net. Don't forget to check out the other parts in the series. We'll show you other things that you can do with your HD7 phone from HTC running Windows Phone 7. And you can check out the show notes for this and the other parts in the series at Butterscotch.com.